It's time to get your geek on with Dave Vermillion.
All right, so we're back at Comicpalooza. The fun continues because now we are here with the lovely, the talented, the sophisticated, the elegant, the honorable Tricia Helfer herself. I want to thank you for taking the time out to chat with us here today. Now, you've done quite a bit of voice acting in addition to being number 6 in Battlestar Galactica and, of course, on Lucifer and so many other roles indeed. Can you kind of talk about the difference between, when you walk into a studio to voice someone like Sarah Kerrigan versus being in front of the camera like being number 6?
Well, there's a lot less time. You don't have to go through hair and makeup. The biggest difference to me is you're in this, when you're doing voice work, you're 99.9% of the time in the sound booth by yourself.
Wow.
So you're not working off the other actors.
Okay. Sounds lonely.
It's lonely. You've got a producer and everything in another booth.
Okay.
There's a voice director that's kind of talking you through things. If they have recorded, if you're having a conversation with another character and they've already recorded the other person, they might lead you in with what they've recorded.
Okay. But
if you're the first one, then you don't get that. So it's a lot. I think you have to use your imagination a lot more in voice work. Not that you don't also in on-camera work, but on camera you're working with the other actor, so you're feeding off the energy, and you're also with the props. You're doing the stuff as opposed to when I played Black Cat in Web of Shadows. I think it's Web of Shadows. You're like, oh yeah, I'm just by voice, thinking I'm like whipping around the room and doing all that kind of stuff, but you can't physically move that much because you can't go off mic.
Right.
If you turn your head, they're not getting a good sound recording. So you have to be generally quite still, but doing, when you're doing Queen of Blades and you're doing, I am the swarm and all this kind of stuff, it's just all very vocalized.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I can actually kind of empathize with that because when we go on the show, as soon as I turn my head and then no one can hear me, even though I'm being really animated, and I then have to bring it back centered. Yeah. So, and my producer's constantly yelling at me, "What are you doing?"
Right.
Now, fans were crushed, absolutely crushed when they heard that Lucifer was canceled. In fact, Tom Ellis is trying. He's got hashtag Save Lucifer, and he commented just a half hour ago that nobody saw this coming. How did you receive the news that it was officially done?
Well, I knew that Charlotte was gone. So for me, I was already prepared not to be in the next season because I knew for a long time that Charlotte was demise was coming. I fully expected the show to go another year or two for sure. And as a cast, we all found out the day before the news broke publicly. So I actually got a text from DB, who plays Amenadiel, who had just heard it from his manager. And so once the news gets out, then we all start texting each other and that type of thing. And then we hear from the showrunners and everything. So it was a big surprise to everyone, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, hopefully somebody will pick it up. And come on, in TV, no one's ever really dead. There's always Charlotte could come back, we hope, maybe. Possibly?
You never know, but from my understanding is I was not going to be in the next season. So
okay, well,
let's get Lucifer picked up first.
Okay, all right,
then we can work on Charlotte.
So now that Charlotte is done, and Lucifer's on, let's call it hiatus. What's on the horizon for you now? Maybe a shot at a DC, Marvel, Star Wars movie, maybe.
Oh, sure, but I got to get hired for it. No, we just did 2 seasons of 22 episodes, so I'm just taking a little bit of time, doing a few conventions to meet some fans, and then just taking a bit of personal time. Take some time off, and then I'm supposed to be doing an independent film in July, I think, and then on to the next. So,
I'd say you've earned a little time. Definitely earned a little time after that grueling television schedule.
Yeah.
Last question, I promise, and I want to thank you for taking the time out. Conventions are crazy busy, and this is a rare and wonderful opportunity. If you could go back and you could watch one scene being filmed in any movie, whether you've done it, whether it's the one you've admired, when it's one of your guilty pleasure movies, you get to go back and just watch it being filmed. You're on set. You're just right there. Director's on your left. Camera's right in front. You get to watch it be filmed.
That is too hard of a question for me because I haven't watched much.
Oh, okay.
So it would have to be something that is like a one. I don't even know. There's some epic scene. I don't know what it is, but I've heard about it. So I'm not going to answer the question very properly. But it's where it's all one take. And it's like a 10-minute scene or something like that.
Okay, so like something in Goodfellas or Daredevil, they have those. They're infamous. They're known for those long,
I would say
uncut.
Goodfellas over Daredevil.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know what this film is. I'm so not much of a TV watcher. I'm terrible. If I'm not working, I'm like on my motorbike or working with rescue pets or something. So that's a tough question for me. But it would have to be one of probably the classics where there's just an amazing cinematography aspect to it.
Excellent. All right, so we're here. We have Tricia Helfer with us. We want to thank her for taking the time out, and we have more still coming up here on our Facebook, on air radio, on our award-winning podcast here at Comicpalooza. Y'all have a good rest of the time. We'll be right back.